You're brand new to Diablo Immortal and you're wondering what things you should be doing every single day in the game to have the most progression. Today, Nemo and I are here to tell you exactly what you need to do. So Nemo and I are just playing some casual Elder Riffs, so we figured we'd take you through these tips. Now, the number one thing that I try to do every single day is do bounty board events. Bounty boards are going to give you more XP, in my opinion, than anything else inside of the game, and they are refreshed every single day, allowing you to get tons of stuff, tons of progression, more progression than anywhere else. Nemo, how do you do with your daily bounty board events?
I love my bounties actually because they give you a lot of stuff. You could stack them up with the new stuff too, right? They have all the 4 bounties being in the same place. Actually, the first thing I do, so when I log into the game, I claim all of my stuff, my boon of plenty. I take a look and see what's around, and then I go straight to the bounty board, pick them up, and then I get a couple of other things we're going to talk about, and then just go do them because it's great to just stack them up. And as you're going around the world and kind of doing things, you're able to to kind of check them off.
Yes, and even though this is a video about what you should do every day in Diablo Immortal, if you miss your bounty boards one day, you're not penalized. They actually stack for quite a few days in a row. So you're able to then go back. If you happen to be sick, for example, and you don't play for 2 or 3 days, your bounty board events will be saved and you could still gain that progression, which is a really nice touch. You don't feel like you have to be forced every single day to play, and you're not going to miss out on something if you happen to miss. Because listen, let's be honest here, Nemo, we all can't play every single day. Real life is kind of a thing, and it can get in the way of us playing every single day.
100% agree.
So that's our number one thing. If there's one thing that you do every day, because maybe you only have 20 to 30 minutes, that's what you should do. All right, so Nemo and I, we're getting towards the end of this Elder Rift right now, and I see a yellow head right here. Nemo, tell us, what is the number 2 thing that you should do every day if you're trying to progress in Diablo Immortal?
The second thing that you should do, and I do, would be your shadow contracts or your immortal dailies.
Yeah.
You do those weekly.
And what you're seeing on the screen right now is where you would go for shadow contracts. At the time of me recording this, I'm actually not a shadow, and with the game, actually, when you're watching this, it's probably gone at this point in time, but it wasn't worth me just signing up to be a shadow again because things were about to be over. But head on over to the bartender, get yourself involved, and grab those shadow contracts. Again, they're gonna have great progression. They're gonna allow you to really move quickly. And Nemo, I just got a gem using rare crests. It's Soled's Weakening. We'll take that and be happy about it. Now, Nemo, I just told everyone where to go for their shadow contracts. Where do they go for these immortal events? Because it is not at the bartender.
No, yeah. So if you go to your immortal hall, you will see that it has your dailies. Those are the things that you should complete every day. Make sure that you have that you contribute enough essential to the reign. And while you're doing that, you also get a bunch of other stuff. You get gear, you get XP, you get gold, and all of that gets delivered to you at the end of the week if you make sure that you complete your dailies, every day.
Perfect. Thank you. So as we get into our next Elder Rift, daily quests are number 3 on the list today because every single day there are new quests that you'll get inside of the game. These are typical things that you would do in the game regularly, but these quests will give you a little bit of an extra reward. You'll get a little bit of a bonus from what you would typically get from completing these things. As you can see on the screen, they're pretty easy to find right there in front of you, and it's something that when you're done with your bounties, when you're done with your shadow or immortal contracts, it's not a bad idea to earn the extra XP from events that you might typically do anyway inside of the game, but choose to do the ones that are going to give you that extra XP bonus. And Nemo, we're talking about what's best to do to progress the most, to get the most XP, but are there sometimes days where you just want to play the game and enjoy it? You don't care what this stuff is. You just want to do certain things. Maybe you'll want to just do battlegrounds one day. It's not a part of an event, but it's just what you're in the mood to play. Is it okay to do that, Nemo?
No, never. You should always complete your bounties, your shadow contracts, and what we just talked about, your daily quests. Work. On top of that, give you a pro tip here. What you could do is you could pick up all your bounties and then see what those daily quests are. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you can double dip and maybe complete the daily quest and the bounty at the same time, giving you a little extra time to do all of that enjoyment that Echo talks about.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't follow my own rules sometimes because, even recently, there were a few days where I just wanted to run I just wanted to run PvP. I just wanted to go in and do the battlegrounds, get smoked, you know, and have a really hard time at it. But it's what I did, and I didn't do my bounties that day. And honestly, at the end of the day, we're talking about a video game here. We should be having fun playing it, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, Nemo, as we take down this final boss, what's our number 4 thing to do every day for the most XP?
Number 4 thing to do would be featured activities. If you take a look at your codex over there, a lot of the times there's specific dungeons and specific activities that will give you double XP, it'll give you extra loot, or it'll give you a chance for really cool legendaries. And the way to do that is if you look on there, it'll actually be featured and there'll be like a little highlight with the 2 upper arrows. You want to do those because that gives you more chance of getting things.
That makes sense. Honestly, it's kind of like the daily quests, except for they're calling it featured activities instead. Same type thing, you're getting more rewards for activities that you might typically do every day anyway. All right, Nemo, so right now we're running some Elder Riffs together. Honestly, it's one of my most favorite things to do inside of the game, but Challenge Riffs and Elder Riffs are all things that you can get rewarded for doing every day as well. So take us through how you get rewarded doing these Challenge and Elder Riffs.
We can start with Elder Riffs because that's easy, right? When you're doing the Elder Riffs, you're going to get yourself legendary gems, you're going to get yourself regular gems. There's a bunch of stuff that you're going to get. And in order to do that, of course, you're going to need those crests. So if you have any crests, whether they're rare or legendary, you should always run them. Make sure that you run them because that gives you ability for more gems and more things. You shouldn't really save them. As soon as I get crests, I'll run them. That's the one. The second thing, as far as the challenge rifts, it's a little bit different. So with the challenge rifts, what you're doing is you're basically running against the leaderboard. You're running against yourself. You should always do a challenge rift. So it would be good to basically push yourself. Like the way I kind of do it is once you first start with 0, it's easy. And eventually, once you get to a high enough level, depending on what your level is, what your ORDR is you're going to hit a wall where it's going to be really difficult and you're not going to be able to complete it. That's, of course, when you stop and you go and you get yourself better gear, get upgraded to a higher level, and then go and challenge Rift yourself to see if you can push past that level with your new gear and your new levels. And you have to do that every day because that kind of pushes you to a higher and higher challenge Rift. And that's the idea. You want to hold leaderboards on by yourself, so it's in a single challenge rift, and then with someone, with 3 people, and with 4 people, because the top leaderboards, hey, every week you will get yourself lots of goodies, lots of rewards, and even in the top 10 spots for each leaderboard, you'll get legendary crests, which of course mean legendary gems. At the end of the day, if you want to be on the leaderboards and if you want to get rewarded, that's kind of how you do it. But even if you don't want to get rewarded, you don't have to hold the top 10 to get some of the things. You kind of just push yourself, get to a high enough position, and you can get yourself rewards every week if you just do that on the challenge rift. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah, and honestly, what Nemo's talking about here is what Diablo Immortal is. And honestly, what any Diablo game is all about. It's all about continuous progression, always trying to better your build, get stronger, build your Paragon points, and really just put together the most solid build that you possibly can to just continue to push leaderboards. It's all about that continuous leaderboard progression so that you can get further and further, be stronger and stronger, and essentially be one of the strongest people inside of Diablo Immortal, or in Diablo Immortal's case, be the Immortal inside of Diablo Immortal. That's what an action RPG dungeon slayer game like Diablo Immortal is really all about. That's why you actually play the game. Now, of course, there is PvP and things like that inside of Diablo Immortal, but at the state that we have right now, I mean, you're gonna wanna be as strong as you possibly can for that also, which further supports the grind that you're gonna be pushing towards as you're just playing through the game, doing all of these daily things that we talk about, just so you can get yourself stronger and literally have one of the best builds inside of the game. And Nemo, with that said, I am in one of our last days here as players of Diablo Immortal, and we're taking down one of our last bosses. This could be our last boss battle, Nemo, that we have inside of the beta before global release, which Nemo and I both believe is going to be happening in the next few months. So let's say, I don't know, much. May is the guess. This could be our last one together, Nemo.
You know what? I agree with you. For once, I think both. Is this the first time that we both agree on a release date prediction?
Which means we're probably wrong. We're wrong every time, let's be honest, man. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are sad that Diablo Immortal is going away. But me, I'm actually happy that it's going because it means it's one step closer to that global release when I could really invest more time. I had a little bit of a difficult time in this beta, Nemo, to actually spend the amount of time that I've spent in both of the previous alphas. I didn't have the desire to grind as much this time around, just because I knew that it was going to be going away again. I've grinded through the game so many times, but once the game does come out in full, right, when it's actually here, I feel like I'm going to have that desire to push and to be one of the best, just because my progression is not going anywhere. I'm gonna have it and it's gonna be nice. But Nemo and I are out for today. We hope that you take our top 5 tips, and we'll see you on the tops of the leaderboards when the game does release globally. Nemo, thanks for coming through the channel again, man. It's always fun. Where can people find you besides in the description of this video, of course?
You can find me on Scrappy Academy YouTube channel. You could also find me on Instagram at Scrappy Academy YT. And it's always a pleasure being here. Thanks so much for having me. I can't wait, for the next one, whenever it is.
I can't wait either, Nemo. I'll see you there. All you guys have a great day. Remember to subscribe to both of these channels and be good.